One of the signs that made me seriously consider leaving was when I noticed that I had my dad's arms. By that I mean that the hairs on my arms had turned white to match those on my head. It was also becoming more common for me to find myself teaching the sons of guys who I had taught years ago. I certainly didn't want a scenario that happened to one of my colleagues who was told by a first year, "My granny says that she went out with you." Looking round the staff room, where once I had been the youngest and greenest member of staff, I was now the second longest serving teacher in the school. Why, some of the teachers were younger than my own kids. It was time to go. As I drove out of the school gates for the last time in June 2018, I realised that, taking into account primary and secondary school, college and my teaching career, I had spent 54 of my 59 years following the cycle of the academic year. My colleagues frequently asked me, what was I going to do in retirement? So in my farewell speech, I paraphrased King Theoden's last words and tokens the return of the king. "I go now to meet those who have gone before me, where we will sit at table and tell tall tales of what great teachers we were, how the kids were much tougher in our day, and how present company accepted for the principal and an ex-principal were present, how we pulled the wool over the boss's eyes." I've never been asked back to sub. But now I would have to start over. I was driving out to a new lifestyle. Was I ready for it? Was it ready for me? After living a life controlled by bills and deadlines, I decided that the first thing to go would be the summer list. This was a list of all the jobs that had to be completed over the summer holidays. Now there would be no completion date assigned to any job, as from now on there would always be tomorrow. This attitude had to be flexible, as I'm not the only decision maker in the house. School club signs went up in shop windows. The Premier League began. And for the first time in living memory, these signposts of the approach of a new term and a new year failed to spoil my mood. I was on a never-ending holiday. And like any self-respecting, newly retired teacher, I went on holiday in September. Being able to avail of low season prices, combined with the fact that the majority of kids would be back at school, only increased my anticipated enjoyment of the event. Not wanting my old workmates to worry about me coping with retirement, I sent them lots of photos of sun-kissed beaches, clear blue skies, and bejeweled cocktails. The responses I received varied from "enjoy it, you've earned it," to "you may as well be there because you never worked a day here anyway." But you can't be permanently on holiday, so what to do at home? I relished the thought of all that free time. With books to read, a book to write, and masterpieces to paint, I had no difficulty filling my time. But with my wife still working full-time, I knew I'd have to take up a lot of the jobs in and around the house. But they wouldn't take long, would they? How naive I was. Tidy up after breakfast, put the washing out, put another wash on, bring the first wash in. Don't let the ironing heap get too high, do a wee bit of hoovering. Surely, I suggested, it would be more time efficient to leave these chores for a few days and then do a massive cleanup. Apparently not, and this point was not open for discussion. A seemingly simple task, like running into Asda to get a few messages, turned into a military exercise to reconnoiter every shop in town for the best buys. It was also brought to my attention that it was compulsory, if not a legal requirement, to lunch out at least twice a week. Gone were the days of a quick sandwich and a mug of tea between lunch bells. I now lived in a world of paninis, ciabattas and wraps. Luckily for me, I was spared the dilemma of choosing, as it was pointed out that at my age, it would be better if I just took a salad. But it wasn't all good times. So sometimes, exhausted from shopping and housework, I would steal a few minutes for a cup of tea and a couple of McVitie's digestives and watch a bit of daytime TV, only to be repeatedly told that I was responsible for every global, natural and man-made disaster and every problem in society. However, I could redeem myself by simply texting to donate or setting up a direct debit, which would go some way to absolve me from my lifetime of selfishness and carelessness to date. But how could I afford this redemption on a mere pension? Again, daytime TV had the answer. I could release some of the equity from my house to cover these costs. And if I did it right, I would have enough money over to take out a funeral plan so that my family could afford to bury me. So my image of retirement being like sailing a yacht across a calm blue sea has taken a bit of a battering, what with encountering some choppy water, being blown off course a few times, and battling through the odd storm. But amid all of this turmoil and change, I've managed to stick to my core aims. I read as many books as I can. I'm in the process of writing that bestseller, and every painting I do is a masterpiece. Thank you.